The Who Would Win of the Week this week is Sebastian Maniscalco versus Frank Sinatra.
I had it my way. Yeah, that's all I got. What else has Sinatra got in his bag?
Fly me to the moon.
And
Let me play among the stars.
Yeah.
New York, New York.
Jupiter and Mars.
Yeah. He's in New York, New York.
Oh, yeah.
I got to sing about it.
Yeah. Concrete jungle where dreams are made
Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Hey, baby.
So he's got New York, New York. He's got My Way. Banger. And then he's got Jupiter and Mars.
Fly me to the moon.
I'll say this. The song My Way. All right, so when I was playing hockey, we used to do this thing called bus tag.
Yeah.
This is going to derail us for a second on the Who Would Win of the Week.
Good.
But we used to play this game called bus tag. And it was when we were on the road, because we're on the bus all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when you were leaving, like, the hotel to go to the rink or leaving the rink or leaving it was mostly leaving a restaurant because everybody's going back to the bus at the same time after you have, like, a team meal or whatever. And somebody would start a game of bus tag, and essentially it was like last person on the bus is still it, essentially. So you would have to sing karaoke. If you lost bus tag, you had to sing karaoke on the bus.
Were you just walking really slow that whole time?
No. I mean, I would, I would usually still do a little number anyway, just for the fellas, just to get the fellas going. But there was a kid, I can't remember his name. He was a freshman, and he got on the bus and sang. I remember his name. His first name was Will. He sang My Way and, like, fucking nailed it.
Wow.
And, like, the boys were fired up.
That's incredible.
It was like one of those American Idol moments where you see somebody that, like, you're like
a Susan Boyle.
Yeah, it was a Susan Boyle. He had a Susan Boyle
Will
moment.
Boyle.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Willie
I'm
Boyle?
talking about Willie Boyle.
Yeah.
He had a Willie Boyle moment. It was it was pretty special. But that was my first, like, real introduction to that song. I don't know. I'd never I'd never, like, listened to that song all the way through, start to finish. I was never a Sinatra guy. What are you rolling your eyes at me for?
Well, it's just like you just hear these, like, these songs, they call them the standards, because they've been around for so long and they're kind of everywhere.
You know that part of it.
Yeah.
But you don't know all the intricacies, all the details of the song.
I'm getting drunk. I've had a few. He's also got, luck be a lady tonight.
Don't know that one.
Some of these I think are, like, ones that he recorded but weren't, like, necessarily his songs, you know what I mean? But I think this one, that's life. That's what all the people say.
Don't know that one.
Riding high in April, shut down in May. You don't know that song?
No.
What about Strangers in the Night?
That sounds like Phantom of the Opera.
Something Glances.
Don't know that one.
What about Fly with me, let's fly away.
I think I know that one. All right, I'm good on the Sinatra song.
Now let's do some Sebastian bits. These people, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you embarrassed? And the cat goes, gah. That's the best I got for Sebastian. I can't do Sebastian. Nobody's asking me to, thankfully.
I'm looking up some stats.
I won't do that. About, like, height and stuff. Now, here's the thing about Sinatra. I think a lot of people, how do I say? A lot of idiots. What's the other word for them? Italian people. They say, they'll be like,
that's disrespectful.
Frank. Exactly. But they'll be like, I don't mean that. Some people I know who are Italian. Some of my best friends are Italian. But there are some people who will be like, oh, Frank, Frank connected to the mob. Yeah, but it was just because he was, like, a good singer. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, this guy is a little light in the loafers, but he's all right.
See, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay. Go.
I think So one, they were both miniature men. Like I don't even know if we could see them in this room. Well, I say we're both
Sicilian.
Yeah, he's Sebastian's still kicking. Is Frank Sinatra dead, right?
Yeah, famously
making sure.
dead.
Just making sure. I
Jesus
said it and I
Christ.
knew that, but I want to double check.
He died in the 80s, I think.
That's right. Yeah, I remember. I remember where I was when he died. Actually, now you say it.
Uh-huh.
I was walking into the Brickyard.
I was walking in the Lucky Luciano's place.
We were getting barbecue.
Good barbecue at the Brickyard.
That was Michael Jackson, by the way. That's when Michael Jackson.
That's not.
died.
No, we were going to Casa Antica.
But we parked behind the Brickyard.
No, we parked.
No, dude,
in
I
front
think
of
we were going to
Casa
the
Antica.
Brickyard.
Matthew, who's good? Who do you think remembers this better, you or me? Let me ask you that right now.
Me, because I remember
wrong.
going into Brickyard.
Yeah, that's a different time.
That a different time that Michael Jackson died?
No, Matthew, you're remembering just a different time we went to the Brickyard. When Michael Jackson died, we were in Dad's car. I was sitting behind him. You were sitting behind Mom.
Dude.
We pull up to Casa Antica, in front of Casa Antica. The patio's on our right.
No.
And, turn the radio up. Michael Jackson dead.
No. Because you know how Brickyard has that back
The back
parking
lot, of course.
I remember we were walking through that parking lot. And it was obviously before BBC. So
That's incorrect.
all right, fuck you, dude. Here's what I'm going to say. They're both small,
They're both small.
but Sebastian's 5'9", Frank Sinatra's 5'8".
Okay.
Barely classifying as an adult man.
Okay, sure.
Frank Sinatra, I feel like, amongst all the other things, not even related to like the mob and stuff like that,
Yeah.
he was a brilliant singer, which maybe some people would knock him for because they don't see it as like a super manly task. Wait, I'm still going.
Of course.
But I think, based on the generation that he was a part of, that guy was nails. I just know that guy was nails.
I think, you know what?
He had to have been nails.
I'm inclined to agree with you. I'll tell you, I'll talk about this, and I'll tell you one story. So, yeah, he was from that era where it was like you smoke and you drink, and you have a terrible diet. And I do think he could probably punch harder than Sebastian.
Dude, I'll tell you this, because I think Sebastian Maniscalco with fame has like gotten into shape. Like I think he's pretty.
Oh yeah, he's
like
a
pretty
lean,
fit
mean
guy.
machine,
Yeah.
and he's always
But
like
I'll
moved
tell you
so
right
much
now-
on stage. He's quick.
Yeah, but he's a bitch. I could just, dude. You could knock him the fuck out. You could lay him flat on his back. He can't take a punch. No chance.
Well, I think a lot of guys who end up becoming comedians like Sebastian, it's because they don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Right. But I think to a certain extent the same thing could be said for Frank with his singing, at least in the beginning of his career.
Yeah, but Frank was no. See, I don't know the story of Frank Sinatra, so this could be so far off base.
Okay.
This is just how I envision him.
Yeah.
Like, classy guy, but like, to be a classy guy back then, you had to be nails.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You had to be a little. You were buttoned up, but you were rough on the edges.
This guy's getting into my. Hey,
but
what's the matter?
So what I was gonna say was, I feel like he was that kind of guy. He just happened to be an excellent singer.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, from the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes. He was a guy from the neighborhood that happened to just have sick pipes.
Yeah.
And he just rode
now,
those.
Look, we got to talk about this, man. Like I said, so sure, Sinatra, more nails than Sebastian, agreed. But with all of Frank's manly tendencies, the smoking, the drinking, the things that made him, not necessarily the most physically in shape guy. Sebastian, he's moving around. He's quick.
No.
Here's the
But
deal.
you see, here's where you're wrong.
I didn't even
go
get
ahead.
to my
Finish.
point, so I'd be wrong yet.
Yeah.
Frank hits Sebastian. He's going to hit him hard, and it's going to be tough for Sebastian. But he's got to catch him first. Sebastian moving around. Aren't you embarrassed? Bop, bop, bop. Frank, heart attack. Heart attack.
You're
Easy.
forgetting that back then, cigarettes were good for you.
No, I'm keeping that in mind.
You had a cold, cigarette.
Yeah, of course.
You had the sniffles, cigarette.
Cigarette, sure.
Yeah. You had lung cancer, cigarette.
What did FDR have?
Polio,
Polio.
cigarette. So I disagree with. I think he was in tip-top shape. And
Well, that's an
think about how
insane
much.
statement.
Think about how good you have. Like your stamina has to be to have the pipes to go out and sing some of those songs.
Well, one, he wasn't exactly known for moving around a lot on stage.
Doesn't matter.
And also, towards the end of his life, maybe he wasn't sounding as good as he used to. You know what I mean?
Okay. Are we talking about a Frank
I'm just
Sinatra the day
saying.
before he died? Or are we talking about Frank Sinatra in his prime?
All right, fair enough. But still.
Dude, he's knocking the boots off of Sebastian Maniscalco. And I'll say this. When Sebastian Maniscalco first came on the scene, shall we say, I was a huge Sebastian Maniscalco fan.
When you got your wisdom teeth out, you were like, oh, what's Sebastian Maniscalco?
Yeah, and it was probably funny as hell. I think my tides have turned on Sebastian Maniscalco. I bet you like his stand-up comedy and stuff is still funny.
It is.
I tried to watch that show, Bookie. Is that what it's called?
Don't know.
His HBO show where he's a
No idea.
bookie.
Never heard of it.
Really?
Nope.
Dude, I watched like the first 3 minutes and was like, I ain't watching this.
You know, TV's hard, and I think Sebastian is still in that kind of area where, like, you know, he's obviously like a stadium comedian,
Well,
he's still kind of like from the old school where he's like, well, what you do is even when you get to that level, like you get a show on HBO as opposed to like doing, you know, what Tom Segura or Bert Kreischer does, you know, where they're like creating their own machine instead of working to fit into somebody else's.
I think that's part of it. I think he's just gotten like too famous. Like he acts too famous now. Like you can get super famous and still.
Sure.
And that's just the vibe I get from him.
Maybe.
Like I haven't watched any of his new stuff. Like I have no idea. But I just get the vibe that he's too famous. I'm taking Frank Sinatra. Couldn't even remember a guy's name.
I think at the end of the day, I'm going to take Frank Sinatra too. Ultimately, I mean, I think Sebastian, if he can, you know, here's the thing. I think if at the beginning of the confrontation, Sebastian's going to be pretty squirrely, and if he's able to punch Sinatra in the throat and then run away, maybe he's got a chance. But I think that's kind of his only move.
The last few Who Would Win the Weeks that we've done, your take has been like, oh, they're just going to run away. You can't just
Which is
run
not how
away.
you win. Which is not how you win. That's why I'm
Yeah.
taking Frank. That's why I'm taking Frank.
You can't just run away.
Saying. I'm just saying.
Frank's going to find you. He's going to Mike Myers it.
I like that a lot.
Slow
If
walk
they do, like,
after you and just randomly turn up once you think
How's
you're safe.
that? How's the Halloween theme go? Yeah. If we do like a very like a big band, like you know, with that and then
version
Frank,
of it.
that could if this were like 2008 and we made a YouTube video about
That would
that,
play
million
hard,
views,
yeah.
million views.
Yeah.
That would have been
Us
God.
and Smosh, baby.
Us and Smosh.
And one about the unicorn. Wasn't there
Charlie
Charlie,
Unicorn. Us, Charlie Unicorn,
and Smosh.
and Smosh.
Yeah.
If only. If
Going to the Mountains
God.
is still one of the greatest.
Oh, without a doubt. It's
sketches
where I
of all
learned.
time.
It's where I learned the word boner.
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah, and you asked our mother what a boner was.
No. That was what a condom was. That was when I watched. That was watching the show Chuck. See, this is why I know where we were when Michael Jackson died, Matthew.
Oh,
this
dude.
is why I know where we were when
That
MJ
one I
kicked
only
the
know.
bucket.
That one I only know because I've heard the story, so I was inferring that's where it was going. The Michael Jackson thing, I vividly remember walking through that parking lot. It was sunny.
Well, you vividly remember.
It was actually
wrong.
when did he die? Did he die in the
He
spring?
died in April.
Yes.
Is my guess, and it wasn't sunny.
Oh.
It was cloudy.
It was
cloudy that moment. The moment it was cloudy. I swear to God.
Maybe for you, but it was actually sunny. Nope. See, I knew he died in June. It was summer. It was sunny.
It was a cloudy
2009.
June day. It was one of those famous
to
cloudy
fucking-
June days. Matthew, I swear to God, if we get a time machine, I'll bet you $1 million.
Vote on that on Instagram. Who would win
Yeah,
the
vote.
week?
Vote.
Frank
Were
Sinatra
we in the
versus-
car or were we in the
versus
parking lot?
Sebastian Maniscalco. Vote on that on Friday on Instagram. Who would win of the week?